Hi, my name is Amedeo Rosenfield, and this is my senior presentation. My experience in CAP is related to the creating of a perfect Chipotle bowl. Through trial and error, I learned the recipe to becoming a successful student in CAP. Over the course of the past 4 years, I've run into many challenges and failures. I do low quality assignments because I wanted them to be done, and would also let my homework build up until the last second. I'd also wait to fix my grades until my parents bothered me or teachers asked about them. I had to learn the best strategies that would work for myself in order to become a successful student in high school and hopefully a successful adult for the rest of my life. This brings me to my theme that patience and determination are essential in building a better foundation for the future. Through the first 2 years in CAP, there were many moments where I felt unable to keep up with class and I wanted to quit. I'd not turn assignments in on time and I'd lose focus during instruction. Even though I felt destined to fail, I developed better strategies which helped me become the student I am today. Consistently getting A's in my CAP classes the first 2 years was something freshman or sophomore me wouldn't have believed. Determination after experiencing setbacks allowed me to achieve my full potential as a CAP student. This brings me to the first step of the perfect order, waiting through a long line that wraps around the room. It's safe to say that Chipotle is not a secret place. Everyone knows about it and there are constantly long lines. Initially, the task of waiting in a 30-person line is haunting, but I've learned through patience and determination, the line moves fast as you quickly get to ordering the perfect bowl you crave. This relates to Competency 5, Area of Emphasis. For my first exhibition, I participated in Democracy Summer, a 6-week run program by Jamie Raskin. Alongside high school students around the country, we had a first-hand opportunity to speak with political and social leaders and hear their stories. Leaders such as Bob Moses, a civil rights leader who we had the pleasure of hearing from weeks before he passed away, and Congressman James E. Clyburn, Congressman Katie Porter, and of course Congressman Jamie Raskin. The program's goal was to allow us to hear from these leaders, but also teach us, the future of America, how to be leaders. This consisted of organizing events, canvassing, and phone banking. These all were things I'd never done before. In the first few weeks, I struggled greatly. I stuttered a lot, got very nervous, and didn't raise much money. First ever phone bank, here we go. Hi, is this Mr. Donor? I think he hung up on me. However, much like being patient and determined while waiting in a line at Chipotle, I was patient and determined canvassing and phone banking. I asked Congressman Raskin for advice and spoke with more experienced participants to learn what they had to say.
Hey, it's Jamie Raskin calling. Thanks, bye.
I continued to improve and I began seeing results. I felt myself sound more fluid and would sometimes engage in conversations completely off topic because the person on the other side of the phone felt comfortable talking to me. I was one of the top people raising money and I covered hundreds of houses and phone numbers. My experience with Democracy Summer is related to the theme because of how important the tasks we were doing are for the future of our country. In a time when the government is so fragile and the country is so divided, it is important for a new generation of political leaders to learn from past generations. My determination and patience in overcoming struggles while raising money is essential in the future of the country, as money needs to be raised and the community needs to be brought together as America moves into the future. Coming out of Sligo Middle School, I entered Blair not knowing many people. I struggled to make new friends towards the beginning of the year. However, through patience and staying positive, I created a foundation of people to lean on. This brings me to the second step in ordering a Chipotle bowl, building the foundation. The tortilla is the most important part of the bowl. The trick is, you ask, can I get a bowl with a tortilla under? This will serve as a foundation for the bowl, as it will soak up the flavors and the ingredients and is needed for a good bowl. In the overload of flavors, you'll always be able to turn to the tortilla as a plain base to reconvene your taste buds. This is related to my C-SPAN project, which falls under Competency 2, Media and Communication. For this assignment, we were tasked with creating a documentary on an issue we found important to us. This video would be submitted into competition and hopefully could win recognition and potential prize money. I worked alongside 2 classmates and we focused on sanctuary cities, and more specifically, how important they are to the country. We chose this topic because all 3 of us had at least one parent that was an immigrant, so immigration was a topic we held close to us. We set up an interview with the mayor of Tacoma Park, Kate Stewart. Going to the mayor's office and speaking with her was truly amazing, and we all learned so much from the experience. We then sat out and caught footage of different areas of Tacoma Park, which is actually a sanctuary city. Piecing together this B-roll was the hardest part. I took the lead editing because of my limited experience prior to this project. The final product was emotion-filled and creative as we were proud of the video we made. Much like a tortilla creating the foundation for a Chipotle bowl, this C-SPAN video was essential in creating awareness to the public as the video got many views on YouTube. This project fueled a love for editing, which led to me applying to BNC and creating video package for the last 2 years, while also starting a private business filming events. C-SPAN allowed me to practice and fall in love with editing and the creative aspect of the process, thus creating a foundation for a hobby I love today. This connects to the theme because throughout the C-SPAN project, I not only was learning the editing skills to fuel a future hobby I hope to continue, but it also helped spread awareness online for an extremely important cause in today's world, immigration and the importance of sanctuary cities. Awareness of the benefits of sanctuary cities can hopefully help stop the spread of misinformation on them, contributing to a future for sanctuary cities, as past presidents have attempted abolishing them. The third aspect of an amazing Chipotle bowl is the ingredients.
Double rice, black and brown beans, sofritas, veggies, tomatoes, green salsa, sour cream, corn, cheese, lettuce, please.
The ingredients are the most fascinating thing about Chipotle that throws it ahead of its competitors. None of the ingredients are that good by themselves. Rice is plain, lettuce is uninspiring, protein is dry, and everyone knows how unappetizing sour cream is by itself. However, when the many ingredients are mixed together, a flavorful abyss is created within the bowl. This connects to the 1.2 interdisciplinary assignment, which falls under Competency 1, Critical Thinking and Intellectual Growth. The task assigned was to write a story or editorial concerning an event that has happened in the past month. Originally, I planned on only writing about the Fresno shooting, but I also researched more and interviewed more people, and I later discovered that there was a deeper story behind the shooting, gang violence. This changed my story. I pulled different sources, all with parts of a story which came together to show a big picture. One shooting here, another shooting here, and there, and there. These all came together to show one big picture, gang violence in Fresno, California, and what must be done to turn things around. Like a Chipotle bowl where all the separate toppings come together to make a delicious bowl, creating a news article uses the same components. You need to research different articles to gain a view on the bigger picture, and bring together everything to create one cohesive story. This connects to the theme because I developed critical thinking skills through this assignment. I learned to gather sources to create a bigger picture, while also learning to set up interviews that I can quote through the article. I set up an interview with Deputy Lack and learned tons about the issue. This taught me the importance of learning from an expert, as they know way more than I could possibly know. Researching and social skills are essential throughout life, as in many careers, I have to accurately educate myself and communicate effectively with those around me. Covering this article also spread awareness throughout the school, as some of the students and teachers saw the article. They learned much about gang violence, as I had other police officers and experts give insight into the situation in Fresno. Overall, I learned a lot from this assignment, as I learned how to take different resources and tell a deeper story behind them. I became vegetarian towards the end of middle school, and many fast food places I could no longer go to. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Popeyes, and Five Guys were all favorites of mine that I could no longer eat meals at. This led to new fast food places stepping forward as options, such as Chipotle, Subway, and Potbelly, which all have great vegetarian options. Since middle school, I've probably eaten roughly about 200 Chipotle bowls. This brings me to the fourth step in the perfect Chipotle experience: pacing yourself as you eat and being creative with how you eat. There's nothing that can ruin your Chipotle experience more than eating too quickly and getting a stomach ache. Trust me, as a Chipotle expert, I still make that mistake sometimes, and that is not the method for eating the bowl. The best method is eating slowly and picking out your bites. Maybe one bite with more sour cream, or one with more peppers, or one with some hot sauce on top. The combinations are infinite and add to the whole Chipotle experience. This brings me to my second advanced exhibition, which falls under Competency 4, Impact on School and Community. For this exhibition, I volunteered for Open Door Sports, which provides free, high-quality, high-energizing sports programs for children who are often missed, such as children with special needs and those that are financially challenged. Every player had their own peer buddy who were younger kids volunteering. I volunteered as assistant coach, supervising the practice and helping out players who needed extra help. I struggled getting players to participate and didn't offer a creative way for them to have more fun. But over the next 4 weeks, much like eating a Chipotle bowl, I used trial and error to figure out how the kids responded to certain things I did. Instead of figuring out the best combinations, I had to figure out the best coaching techniques to raise participation rates and create a fun experience for the players. Clapping after every successful thing done, playful games, and letting players choose names during scrimmages were amongst the things that kids reacted best to. Towards the end, many parents told me that their kid talked about me at home or that they loved the program. I made sure to let them know that it was all because of head coach, Coach Sarah Albas, for putting together such an inclusive community that provided opportunities to special needs students. And I felt so grateful that I got to be a part of the players' experience and bring them joy. The patience shown through both eating the Chipotle Bowl and learning how to coach special needs players are both valuable skills. Learning how to eat a Chipotle Bowl helped build the foundation for a better Chipotle experience, while learning how to coach and interact with the special needs players are skills that I will use for the rest of my life. This connects to my theme because the experience helped me realize the importance of volunteer work and how good it can make me feel. And it's something I will carry for me as I volunteer in the future. This experience hopefully gave the players an amazing memory, both building up the foundation for their lives and the opportunities for them in the future, but also opened my eyes for my love for volunteering as I hope to work alongside beneficial programs like this in the future for their greater good. And now, the last step for the most perfect, most amazing, and delicious Chipotle Bowl. Reviewing your experience and self-criticizing on what could have gone better. It's important to look at all aspects. How long did it take? What was in the bowl? How full did you feel afterward? And even how was the location where you ate? This relates to Competency 3, Social Awareness, which is the CAP research method summer homework that Mr. Schindel assigned students entering junior year. Going into junior year, I may have been the most motivated I've ever been. I was ready to tackle a COVID year and was feeling confident in learning lots of new content. I took this motivation into this assignment and worked really hard. We were tasked with tracking the progression of important topics through different social media sites over a 6-week period. Because this was during the 2020 summer, and the important elections were coming up in just a few short months, I focused on the public's view on President Donald J. Trump. Very similarly to reflecting on my Chipotle experience, I had to use the similar skills when tracking the public's opinion on President Trump. I had to look at many aspects that people may have opinions on, and from both sides of the issue. Much like how one person may like white rice in their bowl, while another person may like brown rice, that doesn't mean that one is right, they're just the two opinions. This is related to the summer homework because I had to track the opinions of anti-Trump people and pro-Trump people. And even more detailed, I tracked it over Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Over the 6-week period, I began to gather a pretty solid census on how the public felt on Trump. People either loved him and would die for him, or they hated him and were still trying to get him out of office. Between these two groups, there was an extreme amount of hate and very little open discussion. Neither group agreed with each other on how Trump's response to COVID was, how he won the election in 2016, and how his response was to the Black Lives Matter movement. I started to consider quitting social media altogether because of the hate and propaganda that plagues through the systems. As a Democrat, I kept open eyes to both sides of the subject to gain a feeling for the true public's opinion. But after a couple weeks, I was furious and ended up deleting all my social media platforms and not writing a review the 6th week. Looking back at my reaction, I should have kept my cool and continued reviewing my thoughts. I now keep my cool in political, economic, or social discussions I may not agree with, as I know there's always two sides to a story. This relates to the theme because I learned the skill to ignore bias and reflect on my sources as the 6-week period continued. Still to this day, I check social media on a daily basis, seeking for the truth and hoping to grow a more knowledge-based foundation for the future. I don't only critique my responses to things said on social media, but I also critiqued myself many times through the past 4 years. Whether it was doing poorly on assignments or not listening in class, I consistently was hard on myself as I felt motivated to reach my full potential as a CAP student. I stayed patient and I worked hard. Even though freshman me wanted to quit CAP, senior me is glad he stuck with it, as the community I've built and lessons I've learned will set me up for a life of success, a strong foundation to build on, and dreams I now know I can accomplish. I look back on those late nights studying or those lunches spent doing projects, and I feel the utmost confidence in my abilities to succeed, as CAP has helped me learn the skills needed to work hard to create a great product. Like the great Blair alum Sylvester Stallone once said, "I am not the richest, smartest, or most talented person in the world, but I succeed because I keep going and going and going." And much like creating the perfect Chipotle bowl, it's essential that I continue to work hard on my own craft and continue to do the habits that CAP has taught me to build a foundation for the rest of my life. CAP has helped me become the person I am today, but it's on me to decide the person I am moving forward.